into your new year of 2017, dear one, the new year of living your life's purpose in many ways where that is concerned, in redirecting your purpose in many ways where that is concerned, opening up to the grandness of self, the greatness of self, the wonderfulness of self where that is concerned, and now moving into the full expression of your greatness, the full expression of the powerfulness of you where that is concerned, and opening up to new parameters in your life where that is concerned, but keeping an eye on the third dimensional realm outside of yourself where that is concerned, because the year of 2017 is about moving into the full expression of the powerfulness of the beingness of you where that is concerned, and moving through once again on a month-by-month basis of redirecting your energies to that powerfulness, redirecting your energies to your greatness, redirecting your energies to the wonderfulness of self where that is concerned, and moving into that full powerfulness of the beingness of who you are where that is concerned, and beginning to express yourself to the world, moving into the depth of your heart space to express the truth of who you are to the world where that is concerned, and opening up to the essence of the self where that is concerned, opening up to the truth of self where that is concerned, and the truth of self being community, harmony, equality, peace, and intimacy where that is concerned, as you now move through and begin your year of 2017, as you move through it in a month-by-month basis where that is concerned. And we come to you at this wonderful and most glorious time, dear ones, to give you an overview or an outlook of your year. It is a step-by-step process once again, because your year of 2016, dear ones, was simply a beginning. At the beginning of 2016, we asked you to look at the life you say you want where that is concerned. Make a list of the life, of the aspects of that life you say you want where that is concerned. And we took you through a step-by-step process, a month-by-month process, if you will, of moving through that by identifying what you say you want, by releasing old habits, patterns, and rituals where that is concerned, and committing to the self where that is concerned, committing to that inner journey of releasing old habits, patterns, and rituals. So at the end of your year of 2016, you began to close doorways that was constituted by those old habits, patterns, and rituals, and then quite possibly move to a greater level of consciousness and awareness of what you say you want in your life, what you say you want for your life, how to live your life where that is concerned. And as you ended your year of 2016, the ending of your year was simply now the beginning or the fruition of fully expressing the truth of yourself where that is concerned, and expressing and standing in the powerfulness of you. So as you move through your year of 2017, we will bring to you on a month-by-month basis aspects of beginning to express that truth where that is concerned, and opening up to a grander self, a wonderment of self, and a more powerfulness of self. Because your year of 2017, dear ones, for many who say they are looking for intimacy in their life, it is about beginning with, dear ones, standing in that powerful of self, of knowing the powerfulness of self, knowing the greatness of self, knowing the wonderment of self where that is concerned, and then taking that and the next step. And the next step, by identifying your greatness and your powerfulness and the life you say you want, and moving into a depth or a greater depth of your truth, a greater depth of love of self, a greater depth of love of another where that is concerned. And the first step within this is moving into the intimacy of self where that is concerned. So you can then move out and begin to create that intimacy with others outside of yourself, thus creating a new soul family, if that is so deemed possible for you where that is concerned, and then moving into that new soul family to create a new collective consciousness, because that is the process of your year of 2017, is creating a new collective consciousness where that is concerned, and looking at the outside world, once again, as we said to you, we came to you, this is one of the most glorious times, keeping an eye on what is transpiring outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm, utilizing your tools of does that resonate, what doesn't resonate, what does resonate where that is concerned, utilizing and continue to utilize that tool, and seeing where what quite possibly has happened at the end of the year of 2016 had moved you into a place of defense where that is concerned, of opposition where that is concerned, of struggling to survive that where that is concerned, and moving you quite possibly into isolation and separation of that, and then into the mindset of struggling to survive it where that is concerned, and quite possibly looking looking outside of you in the third dimension realm and seeing where you might find yourself powerless. Seeing where you might find yourself powerless based upon what is transpiring in the third dimension realm that has triggered the nervous system of old consciousness, of old conditioning, of old memories where that's concerned. And when that is triggered, you then move into the defense. The ego moves into the defense. You move into your core defense patterns where that is concerned, and quite possibly moving into isolation and separation, and then fighting what is transpiring outside of yourself. So, dear ones, if you find yourself in that place, it is time to take a look at this. Because, dear ones, this is not your truth. If in fact you are following a pathway of self-development, following a pathway to life mastery, following a pathway to self-mastery, following a pathway to self-love, love being the key component. When you move into isolation and separation, struggling to survive that, in opposition of what is transpiring outside of yourself, fighting what is outside of yourself, is there a component of love within that? So what we are touching upon now is love. The key aspect or the key component of your truth is love, dear ones. A key component of your truth. Is love a key component of your truth? So if in fact you look outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm, the happenstance of the third dimensional realm, is love constituted within that? And if it isn't, dear ones, then there must be a low vibration or a low tolerance of that. And the next step is to move within. And if you begin with the foundation of love of self, you then move to the beginning of the fruition of powerfulness within you. So it all begins in your first month, the first month of your year of 2017, the first month that you call January where that is concerned, is a month of love. The month of love of self. So ask yourself the question, is love a component of my life right now? When I look outside of myself in the third dimensional realm, in the happenstance of the third dimensional realm, am I opposing it? Am I fighting it? Am I separating myself from it? Am I isolating myself from it? Allow all of that, dear ones, to fruition. Allow all of that to come to the surface. And then ask yourself, is there love constituted within that? This is the first step in your first month of January of 2017. As you move through a step-by-step process in your year of 2017, we will continue to touch upon this and bring you ways in which, bring you tools with which you can utilize that will bring you to the powerfulness of you, and then seeing that you can have the life you say you want, that you wrote down in your list in 2016. If in fact you move through a process in 2016 of finally releasing old habits, patterns, and rituals, you find yourself at the beginning. Your year of 2016 was simply a beginning to have the life you say you want. The first step in that is love, that leads you to the powerfulness of you. Love, peace, community, harmony, and equality. It is important to remember, dear ones, that a powerful self, a loving self, an intimate self is the beginning or the foundation of creating collective consciousness. For that is what your year of 2017 is about. Creating a new collective consciousness of high vibrational resonance of love, peace, community, harmony, and equality. For, dear ones, when you look outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm of what is transpiring in your third dimensional realm, it is not so much, dear ones, about withdrawing from that. For, dear ones, you are in the human incarnation having this third dimensional experience. But it is the way in which you relate to that third dimensional experience. It is the way in which you relate to what is transpiring outside of yourself. And the beginning of that is standing in your powerfulness of self and expressing the full powerfulness of yourself. And that comes from the foundation of love, peace, community, harmony, and equality. It is from that foundation you then begin to create the new collective consciousness. So when you see something or someone outside of yourself, that begins to trigger the nervous system, that brings up old habits, patterns, and rituals, that brings up old memories, that brings up old conditioning. Your year of 2016 and the step-by-step process that we brought you through will bring you to allowing you to be aware and conscious of what the nervous system is triggered with, beginning with the triggering of the nervous system. And then as you move into that, utilizing your tools and simply asking yourself the first question, is love constituted within that? For it is not about opposing what is outside of yourself. It is not about fighting what is outside of yourself. For those who trigger that within you are simply want you to continue that fight, want you to continue the opposition. And that, dear ones, is what fuels the low vibrational, dense aspect and energetic aspect of what is transpiring outside of yourself in the third dimensional realm. If in fact you oppose it, if in fact you fight it, it simply fuels it to live on. It is about creating, dear ones, as we have said to you many, many times before, a new world of community, harmony, and equality, love, peace, and intimacy. Thus, now, dear ones, joining together in intimate relationships of a new collective consciousness. What is about bringing forward, dear ones, the basis of that. So it is important, dear ones, to look at your relationships with others. Because, dear ones, what is most important throughout this year of 2017 is now creating a collective consciousness within your relationships. A similar consciousness within your relationships. Relating with those who are on the same pathway as you, that hold the same, as you would call it, values of you, conscious values that you do, and creating intimate one-on-one relationships with others that are moving in a similar collective consciousness as you. It is now time, dear ones, to see in your relationships where you are trying to fit square pegs in round holes, trying to get that relationship to be the relationship that you want it to be, thus staying on the hamster wheel of fighting the other. Can't you see this? Why don't you see that? It is now forming, quite possibly, dear ones, a new soul family of a collective consciousness that simply reflects exactly where you are within this. So in your month of January, in your year of 2017, the basis is love. We will take you a step-by-step process throughout your year. Your year is, once again, dear ones, segregated into monthly aspects, so you will move through your year on a monthly basis. Various energies and various multidimensional energies will move in to support this movement once again, and it will be an accelerated year, dear ones. An accelerated year that quite possibly will transcend time in your linear fashion. Because, dear ones, what is accelerating is the rotation of your earthly plane. What is accelerating is the urgency. So if you find an urgency within you to shift and change what is transpiring within you, the fight just may continue that you are trying to change what is happening outside in your third dimensional realm. Dear ones, it is important to see the archaic aspect of what is transpiring in your old third dimensional realm, the illusion that has been created where that is concerned, and opening up to the powerfulness of you. So you can simply, dear ones, see what is transpiring in the third dimensional outside of yourself, the illusion that has been created outside of yourself, thus illuminating the illusions that you have created for yourself through the conditioning. Yet, dear ones, as you have seen that throughout your year of 2016, this year will be a year of standing in the powerfulness of your truth, the powerfulness of yourself, the powerfulness that is peace, love, community, harmony, and equality.